I'm Greg Gutfeld, in for Bill O'Reilly tonight. Thanks for watching us. The Duck Dynasty fiasco, that's the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Right now, businesses are figuring out how to handle their relationship with Duck Dynasty. Do they cater to their customers, or do they bend to the activists? And what if Phil Robertson's views on homosexuality? Does it really matter? Seriously, if you think homosexuality is an evil sin, where do you go with that? Re-education, repression, acceptance? That's the point. Robertson never linked his opinions to actions. He said what he felt, not what the world should do, and there is a difference. Look, we all know Phils with these views, and most know gay and straight people who find these beliefs ignorant. Either way, we're in this boat together, i.e. Earth, so let's deal with these differences, unsavory or not. And remember, smearing any group, right, left, or whatever, creates something edgier than equality. It's an exemption from civilization. If you see short people as vermin, why should short people bother? I'll just move to Middle Earth where I'm loved. But acceptance creates an expectation of decency for everybody. It's about getting a seat at that table, which all of us sinners deserve. A welcoming place among family, which is a nice thing around the holidays. And that's the memo. Now for the top story. Reaction. Joining us now from San Diego, a great place, conservative columnist Gina and with us in studio, Kennedy, covered in glasses, host of the new show. It's a great show, The Independents, on the Fox Business Network. Kennedy, I'm going to go to you first. So Cracker Barrel, first they pulled the Duck Dynasty products, then they put them back. Should they just make up their minds? What's going on here?
Well, I mean, they're terrified, and that's unfortunately what happens when you get mired in issues like this.
Yeah.
Instead of having a civil and interesting discussion about it, you have the outrage police on both sides that just try and outscream each other. And now we've made the strangest allies of Phil, of course, and Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, isn't it weird? Or that could be a good thing. The fact that people might be finally getting tired of all the faux outrage and just say, let everybody talk, no matter how idiotic their beliefs are, let them talk. Gina, the fact that A&E acted so shocked by Robertson's comments seems a bit of a stretch to me. I mean, how did they miss that he was religious?
Yeah, I don't know, because I can honestly tell you I've never watched a full episode of Duck Dynasty, but I can tell you that I've seen videos of him preaching. I don't know how they missed it, and I think this is all beginning to look a little bit feigned, and I think it's kind of sad because, as Kennedy pointed out, there was such an opportunity for real conversation and dialogue here, and instead of that, they're just trying to outrage each other. And when you look at the fact that A&E, for example, over the weekend ran a 35-hour Duck Dynasty marathon, I'm kind of questioning how ashamed and how outraged they really are by Phil Robertson's actions.
That's a good point, Kennedy. In a way, it seems to me like Robertson is winning this because A&E is hurting their credibility by suspending him while playing, what, 35 hours of the show?
Yeah, maybe it's like, you know, people know that this is the very last they'll have of Phil.
Yes.
So they'll tune in droves. People are so desperate to see the entire family together, maybe for one last time.
Exactly.
So in that sense, it's pretty brilliant marketing. And, you know, they didn't fire him. That's what everyone has to realize. They put him on indefinite hiatus.
Right.
Who even knows what that means?
Yes.
Who knows if that's contractual wording or if that's just something that sounds really important and urgent that will make, you know, one side happy for a little while?
Yeah, I had indefinite hiatus. I went to a doctor.
You
took
had
4 weeks.
The mesh put in surgically, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
the surgical mesh. Gina, if Phil Robertson was spouting maybe something, some kind of pro-socialist agenda, do you think there would have been this kind of outcry?
No, I think that tolerance really only goes one way in this country with the politically correct crowd, and I think that you know, you're right about A&E kind of really capitalizing on this whole thing. But I think like this, you know, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, Greg, it can also walk off of A&E, and it can be a $500 million or whatever it is a year show, with or without A&E. And I think A&E better take note of that, because a lot of people, their entire identity of A&E is Phil Robertson and Duck Dynasty. What other shows can you even name that are on the network?
Right, and if it walks like a duck and talks...
Dead?
Yeah, that's true.
Were you going to say it walks dead like a duck?
No, I was going to say he'll shoot it. If it's walking like a duck, it'll be shot.
Dead duck.
But we are in a world, Kennedy, where words are somehow seen as hurtful actions. That's the dangerous part, because...
Wittgenstein said words are deeds.
Yes, and they aren't.
Contrary to the Crucible. Are they, though? I mean, is what we say so hurtful? Can we truly malign and wound other people? You know, ask Mel Gibson. He had to go to rehab. So did Michael Richards. And, you know, maybe that's where they went wrong, is they apologized.
Yeah.
And in the modern era, it seems like the person who apologizes last gets to stay in office or in power or on TV. So maybe Phil is right to stand his ground. I don't agree with what he said, but I don't really think that's the point of the fallout from the Duck Dynasty tragedy 2013.
Yeah, I think that the message I get is something of, it's not a First Amendment issue, it's a repressive tolerance issue. It's that these companies react in fear of what might happen if activist groups target them, not about, they don't think about their fans, they think about fear. Gina, I have a question for you. You said you don't watch Duck Dynasty. That's what I find so interesting about this, is that if you didn't have Duck Dynasty, no one would know who Phil Robertson is. So he's not really that obtrusive. He's not out there walking the streets screaming his beliefs.
Right, and Duck Dynasty and A&E knew exactly who Duck Dynasty were before they ever brought them on. You know, I think what A&E, their miscalculation here that was dangerous, I think they thought they were going to have a Honey Boo Boo, and they could just go make fun of this hillbilly family. But what they didn't understand was America might watch Honey Boo Boo to laugh at that family, and that's frankly a little bit sad. But I think America watched Duck Dynasty because there was something they related to there. And I think that's where they miscalculated.
They relate to the hair. I think that was the unsung
and
part.
And the beards.
Beards rule in 2013.
You look good with that.
That's true. Beards are coming back. All right. Ladies, thanks a lot. Still ahead.